90 seconds. That's how long Mara Voss looked away from her radar screen. 90 seconds is nothing. A commercial break, a bathroom trip, the time it takes to read 3 comments under a video you don't even remember clicking on. But in an air traffic control tower, 90 seconds is an eternity. Mara was 29, 6 years into the job, sitting in the tower at a regional airport that handled 40 flights a day. Small stakes, people said. Not like the big cities, not like O'Hare or JFK. Small stakes still kill people. That morning, her phone buzzed on the console beside her keyboard. A notification, just one. She told herself she'd glance at it between clearances. One glance became a scroll became a feed became 40 seconds, then a minute 30, her eyes flicking down instead of up, her thumb moving faster than her attention could follow. On the runway, a regional jet was cleared for takeoff. On approach, a small private plane was descending faster than scheduled, pushed by a tailwind nobody had accounted for. Mara's supervisor, a broad-shouldered man named Denny, who'd been doing this for 22 years, caught it. He always caught things. That was his job today. It wouldn't always be. "Voss, eyes up." 2 words, but his voice had a crack in it she'd never heard before. She looked up. The blip on her screen, the private plane, was 4 miles closer than it should have been. 4 miles she hadn't tracked, 4 miles of silence where her attention should have lived. Denny took over the call, redirected the jet, bought seconds that mattered. Nothing hit. Nobody died. The planes landed exactly the way planes are supposed to land, wheels down, engines cooling, passengers filing out into a Tuesday morning with no idea how close they'd come to a different kind of morning. But Mara sat there with her hands shaking on a keyboard she couldn't feel anymore. She didn't know yet that her phone had cost her more than 90 seconds. It had cost her the one thing her whole career was built on: trust. The review board didn't suspend her. That would come later, if it came at all. What they did was worse. They watched her. For 3 weeks, a new supervisor named Priya sat 2 feet from Mara's shoulder during every shift, close enough to hear her breathing change when a flight got complicated, close enough to see exactly when Mara's hand drifted toward her phone, still sitting there, on the console, silenced now, but never turned off. "You can put it in your locker," Priya said on day 1. Not an order, an offer. Mara didn't take it. She told herself she needed it for emergencies, for her mother, who was 71 and lived alone, for her sister, who was going through a divorce and texted at strange hours. Real reasons, true reasons. But real reasons don't explain why she reached for it during a lull instead of during an actual emergency. They don't explain the tightness in her chest when 3 hours passed without a single notification, like her body was starving for something that wasn't food. Week 2, it got worse before it got better. She missed a subtle wind shear warning buried in a routine weather update, missed it because she was mid-scroll when it came through, and by the time she caught up, a cargo plane had already begun its descent into turbulence nobody warned him about. The pilot handled it. Barely. He radioed in afterward, voice tight, asking what happened to the alert. Mara had no answer that wouldn't end her career. That night, she sat in her car in the airport parking lot for 40 minutes, not driving anywhere, just staring at the phone in the cup holder like it was something she'd never seen before. She opened her screen time settings. She'd avoided this for 2 years. 11 hours a day. 11 hours. Not at work. Those were logged separately. 11 hours of her life outside the tower, scattered across a phone. Most of it she couldn't remember a single piece of. Not one video, not one post, just the motion of her thumb and the hum of something in her chest that always wanted more. She thought about the cargo pilot's voice on the radio, steady but rattled underneath. She thought about Denny's crack in his voice, eyes up. For the first time in years, Mara Vos felt something colder than fear. She felt ashamed. Shame doesn't fix anything by itself. Mara learned that the hard way over the next 6 weeks. She deleted the apps, reinstalled them 4 days later at 2 in the morning, telling herself it was different this time. She'd just check quickly. She locked her phone in a drawer at work, found herself staring at the drawer instead of the radar. The problem wasn't the phone. The problem was what she'd built her nervous system to expect: constant motion, constant reward, constant escape from stillness. And stillness was exactly what her job demanded. Long stretches of quiet, watching, waiting, ready to notice the one thing that mattered in a sea of nothing happening. She had trained herself for years to be unable to sit inside quiet without reaching for noise. The breaking point came on a Thursday, not during a shift, but at home. Her sister called, actually called, not texted, sobbing about the divorce, needing her sister to just listen for 20 minutes. And Mara, phone against her ear, felt her eyes drift to the second screen sitting beside her on the couch, felt her thumb twitch toward it, caught herself mid-scroll while her sister cried on the other end of the line, and realized she hadn't heard the last full sentence her sister said. Her own sister, in pain, and some part of Mara's brain had decided a stranger's video was more urgent. She hung up, feeling like she'd failed 2 people in 1 week, a cargo pilot she'd never met, and a sister she'd loved her whole life. That night, she didn't cry from sadness, she cried from recognition. The kind that arrives when you finally see the shape of something you've been circling for years without naming it. She wasn't tired, she wasn't lazy, she was starving her own attention to death, one scroll at a time, and calling it relaxation. Nobody told her this. No wise words, no outside voice handed her the answer. She built it herself, alone, on her kitchen floor at 11 at night, staring at a phone that had quietly re-architected her mind. Change for Mara didn't arrive as a lightning bolt. It arrived as a boring, stubborn routine that she had to choose again every single day. She bought an old analog alarm clock so her phone could sleep in another room at night. She started arriving at work 15 minutes early, sitting in the break room with nothing. No phone, no screen, just her coffee and the sound of planes taxiing outside. Uncomfortable at first, unbearably so. Her hands didn't know what to do with themselves. By week 3, the discomfort started to fade. She noticed things again. The particular gray of the sky before a storm front rolled in. The rhythm of Denny's voice when he was worried versus when he was calm. The exact second her sister's tone shifted from venting to actually needing to be heard. At work, her numbers changed. Response times sharpened. Priya stopped sitting 2 feet from her shoulder. Denny started trusting her with the harder shifts again, the ones with weather, with volume, with real pressure. 6 months later, on a foggy December morning, a small aircraft lost partial instrument function on approach. The pilot's voice cracked over the radio, frightened, disoriented in the gray. Mara didn't reach for anything except her headset and her training. She talked him down, altitude by altitude, heartbeat by heartbeat, her voice a steady line through the fog until his wheels touched pavement and he let out a breath that carried across the radio like something breaking open. Later, alone in the tower after her shift, she sat in the quiet without reaching for anything at all, just watched the runway lights blink on against the dark. She thought about the version of herself that almost let a plane get too close because her thumb wanted motion. She thought about how much of her life had passed through a screen without really touching her. She wasn't cured. She still felt the pull some nights, the itch under her skin for noise. But now she knew the cost of giving in.
and she knew, finally, that she was the only one who could pay attention back. Some debts you don't notice you're accumulating until the interest comes due in the sky above a runway, at 4 miles, at 90 seconds, at the exact moment it matters most. Mara Vos learned to look up, not because someone told her to, because she almost didn't get the chance to. If Mara's story made you think about your own 90 seconds, the ones slipping through your fingers right now, subscribe to Rise Within and choose to look up before life has to remind you.